Welcome to the first 外国人介绍台湾新闻 video of 2025, where I will try to break down Taiwanese-related news in international media to see what the world is saying about Taiwan. But it's not always about what the world is saying. Sometimes it's about what the world is not saying. For example, the fact that the G7, which is the group of 7 nations, which is the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United States, this time together with some representatives from the European Union as well, so I guess it's technically G7 plus 1, they recently had a sit-down, or a meeting, I guess is what they call it, in Canada, where they talked a lot about different things, but something that they did not talk about, or at least was not included in their official statement following this meeting, was the One China reference, which kinda is like the standard after G7 meetings, just like this one. Instead, their statement condemned coercion against Taiwan, and to just put this in a little bit more perspective, if you compare this to the previous G7 meeting, which was in November, then in their statement at that time, they said that no change in the basic position of the G7 members on Taiwan, including stated One China policies. But then now there's actually no change in the Taiwan position, which does not mean that there is a change in the Taiwan position, but since the G7 previously has released statements when there have not been a change, you could argue that not releasing a no change statement is a change statement by itself. So yeah, still a little bit confusing, but while on the topic of change, the US Senator John Curtis and Jeff Merkley recently introduced the Taiwan Representative Office Act, since they want to change Taiwan's de facto embassy in the United States from the Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office to the much shorter Taiwan Representative Office, with the motivation that by renaming Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office as the Taiwan Representative Office, our bill acknowledges the reality that this office represents the people of Taiwan, not just the economic interests of the city of Taipei. This is then also followed up and supported by the US Representative Byron Donalds, who says that the name Chinese Taipei is nothing more than a tool of Beijing's strategy of diplomatic coercion. And speaking about Beijing strategies, although Taiwan continues to beat China in Olympic badminton, with the most famous point being from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics final, with Taiwan's match point being on the line, it seems that China is still trying to get that online payback, since the number of Chinese cyber attacks on Taiwan government averaged 2.4 million per day in 2024, and that is double the daily average of 1.2 million for 2023, according to the Taiwan National Security Bureau. Now, I'm not going to sit here in my studio and tell you for certain what kind of cybersecurity the Taiwan government has up their sleeve, but what I can tell you is that if you want to upgrade your own cybersecurity, then you should definitely check out the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. Not only does NordVPN's Threat Protection Pro block your access to fraudulent websites to ensure that you do not fall victim for any kind of hacking or malware attacks, it also blocks ads and trackers to store data about you, so you will have a more pleasant online experience even if you never visit any questionable websites yourself. And I can personally say that NordVPN has definitely improved my own online experience for the past 10 years at this point. Although I do also have to admit that I have mainly been using it just to change my location to another country, meaning that I can then access all kinds of streaming platforms, movies, and TV shows that may not yet be available in the country I'm currently in. For example, my all-time favorite TV show, NCIS, which is not available here in Taiwan without using a VPN service such as NordVPN. But the number one reason for why I actually dared to try NordVPN to begin with is their 30-day money-back guarantee, which they still of course have to this day. That means that you can try NordVPN as much as you want during the next 30 days on up to 10 devices at the same time, and then if you're not 100% satisfied with NordVPN, you will of course get all your money back. And as an added bonus, if you do click the link down in the description or simply head over to nordvpn.com/Lukas, you will both get an exclusive deal and also an extra 4 months of NordVPN as well. And while on the topic of NCIS, or the Naval Criminal Investigative Service, which is a real organization in the US, it seems that Taiwan's President William Lai is trying to create something similar here in Taiwan, since he has plans of restoring the military court system as a way to address the increase in Chinese infiltration efforts. Obviously, there is a huge difference between this American TV show and this Taiwanese military court system. These military judges would work alongside prosecutorial and judicial agencies to handle criminal cases involving active duty military personnel accused of treason, aiding the enemy, leaking classified information, dereliction of duty, insubordination, and other military offenses. Don't worry, I also have absolutely no idea of what I just said, but what I think it means is that since I'm not actually part of the Taiwanese military, I don't really have to worry about any of these military offenses, unless I of course accidentally join a marathon down in Kaohsiung. Okay, please pay some extra attention right now, because this is a two-layered news. First of all, this was a normal 42-kilometer marathon running race, and the winner got this trophy, which at a first glance is like super weird and doesn't make any sense at all. But if you do dig in a little bit deeper into this news, you realize that the reason for why this looks like a weapon, it's because it is a weapon, or the trophy of one, because of the 2025 edition of this annual marathon race passed through 3 military academies. So then all of a sudden this weapon-themed running trophy kind of makes a little bit more sense, although I still find it very out of place and a little bit weird for a marathon race trophy. And this little detail is of course not included in all the international news regarding this news or this mishap. So if you're reading international English news about Taiwan these days, you kind of start to ask yourself like, what is going on down in Kaohsiung? But if you do take a closer look at this weapon itself, that's when you realize that this weapon is actually the Chinese military weapon and not the Taiwan-style military weapon which they are practicing with inside of these military academies where the race was. So actually this news seems to be more focused on that the weapon itself is Chinese and not Taiwanese, other than the fact that it was a weapon to begin with, because that kinda made sense. But regardless, that has been the top Taiwan-related international news that I have found recently. But I also just wanted to finish off this news reporting with some maybe more happy news. And speaking about happy endings and finishing off, Taiwan has now extended the paid parental leave to 7 months, up from previous 6 months of paid parental leave. So if you're planning on having a kid here in Taiwan, there has been no better time than right now, at least financially speaking, I guess. Unless, of course, you are a self-employed YouTuber who cannot take any time off and who also wouldn't get any kind of paid parental leave anyway. But speaking about this specific self-employed YouTuber and future plans, since you have been watching this far into this video, I just wanted to let you in on a little secret of mine. That is that I'm in the process of creating my own business here in Taiwan. So nothing to do with paid parental leave or anything like that, at least nothing yet. But I am in the process of creating my own business. I cannot really reveal anything public right now, but what I can say is that this new business will focus 100% on promoting Taiwan, both in Taiwan, but maybe even more excitingly, to promote Taiwan to the rest of the world and to foreigners literally anywhere in the world, which is something that I am super excited about. My YouTube channel members already know a little bit more detail, and moving forward, I'm gonna use this channel's member section to give all the future business related news updates. And of course, once my business has officially been launched, that's also where you will see some exclusive YouTube channel member discounts as well. And I can guarantee you that there will be no better discounts than the ones in my YouTube channel membership, since you people have been the ones who have supported me up until this point, and this is hopefully my way of giving back a little bit of that support, and hopefully we just gonna turn this into a win-win-win situation for all of us and for Taiwan as well. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, please do consider checking out my YouTube channel membership, since there are already some exciting news, and very soon there will be some much bigger updates there as well, and of course a continuing financial discount for you as well if you are kind enough to show your support in joining my membership. To everyone else, thank you all so much for watching this video, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because that is also a way to support me, and then by extension also supporting Taiwan in future videos and also on future adventures here in Taiwan. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Lucas. Starts with L as in like, ends with S as in subscribe. Please do both, and see you all in the next one.